Kurt Vonnegut. Few writers have ever captured the absurdity, tragedy, and humor of the human condition like he did. Born into hardship, forged by war, and sharpened by relentless curiosity, Vonnegut's works are timeless commentaries on the chaos of existence. But how did he rise from obscurity to become one of the most influential literary voices of the 20th century? Let's dive into the extraordinary life and career of Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut Jr. was born on November 11, 1922 in Indianapolis, Indiana, into a family of architects and socialites, but the glittering facade of privilege crumbled when the Great Depression hit. The Vonneguts lost their wealth, and young Kurt witnessed his mother's descent into despair. Humor became his armor, and imagination his escape. In the pages of pulp science fiction and satirical magazines, he found not only entertainment, but the seeds of his future genius. At Cornell University, Vonnegut studied biochemistry, an effort to follow a practical path. But his true calling wasn't in the lab, it was in the power of words. While he wasn't yet a writer, the sharp observations of humanity he made during this time would later fill the pages of his novels. The defining moment of Vonnegut's life and career was World War II. Drafted into the US Army, he served as a scout during the Battle of the Bulge, only to be captured and taken as a prisoner of war. Sent to Dresden, he witnessed firsthand the firebombing that obliterated the city, killing tens of thousands of civilians. Trapped in an underground slaughterhouse, Vonnegut survived the carnage. That slaughterhouse, ominously named Slaughterhouse-Five, would later become the heart of his most celebrated novel. But Vonnegut didn't process the trauma immediately. It took over 20 years for him to transform his wartime experiences into literature. The result? A genre-defying masterpiece that fused absurd humor, non-linear storytelling, and a profound critique of war. After the war, Vonnegut returned to civilian life, working a series of uninspiring jobs, including as a publicist for General Electric. He started writing short stories on the side, many of which were published in magazines. In 1952, his first novel, Player Piano, hit the shelves. It was a dystopian tale about a mechanized society where humans were rendered obsolete. While the novel earned modest acclaim, it didn't catapult him to fame. The 1950s were a grind for Vonnegut. Supporting a growing family, he churned out short stories and struggled to find his footing in a literary world dominated by realist fiction. But Vonnegut was quietly laying the groundwork for his rise, honing his style and tackling the themes of technology, war, and human folly that would define his career. The 1960s were a transformative decade for Vonnegut. His fourth novel, Cat's Cradle, 1963, was his first major success. It introduced readers to Ice-9, a fictional substance capable of freezing the world, and used this outlandish premise to explore humanity's blind pursuit of progress. It was sharp, darkly funny, and deeply unsettling, a perfect encapsulation of Vonnegut's voice. Then came Slaughterhouse-Five in 1969, the book that cemented his place in the literary canon. By combining his wartime experiences with a non-linear narrative and the absurd concept of aliens, Vonnegut captured the chaos and futility of war like no one else. The novel wasn't just a bestseller, it became a cultural phenomenon read by anti-war activists and scholars alike. Its refrain, "So it goes," became a mantra for a disillusioned generation. This period also saw Vonnegut experiment with his most personal and daring ideas. In Breakfast of Champions, he broke the fourth wall, inserting himself as a character and unraveling the illusion of free will. The novel was chaotic, polarizing, and utterly unique, a testament to Vonnegut's willingness to take risks. By the 1970s, Vonnegut was a household name, but fame came with its burdens. He struggled with depression, the pressures of celebrity, and the breakdown of his first marriage. Yet through it all, he continued to write, producing works like Jailbird, 1979, a critique of corporate corruption, and Galapagos, 1985, a darkly comedic exploration of evolution and survival. Vonnegut's later years were marked by reflection. In essays and interviews, he became a vocal critic of war, corporate greed, and environmental destruction. His voice remained sharp, his wit intact. Even as he aged, his works continued to inspire readers to question authority, laugh at absurdity, and seek kindness in an indifferent world. Kurt Vonnegut's influence extends far beyond his novels. Writers like Margaret Atwood, Neil Gaiman, and Chuck Palahniuk have cited him as an inspiration. His ability to blend science fiction, satire, and humanism has left an indelible mark on literature. In a world grappling with existential threats and societal collapse, Vonnegut's words feel as urgent as ever. He dared to confront the absurdity of existence, and in doing so, he gave us a way to navigate it. His message is simple yet profound. Be kind, seek truth, and never stop questioning the world around you. Kurt Vonnegut passed away in 2007, but his legacy endures. His books continue to spark debates, inspire creativity, and comfort those searching for meaning in chaos. If you've ever felt lost in the absurdity of life, Vonnegut's works are a reminder that, while the world may not make sense, our kindness and resilience can. So it goes.